Well, hello, my beautiful dragon family. Rhea, I'm not coming to you live here. It's been, I think almost 2 weeks since I touched in, or was definitely didn't touch in last week, so missed that one. Wanting to touch in this week, and very interestingly, I have tried multiple days, and all these things keep getting in the way. What I've found, I know that today I just want to pull a dragon card and feel the energy with you guys. Just had to take a few moments even for myself with stuff going on. I've had a lot of repairmen going on lately. We've had a fridge leak and need a plumber, and had something else that I needed a guy for. And every time I go to come into a live, like something intervenes, something has pulled me away, and I needed to be focused in that, and it's in this flow. And so even today, about maybe an hour ago, was feeling, I'd really like to connect in. Is this the right time? And there was a bunch of chaos, a bunch of stuff with a workman that was here, and them leaving, they didn't have the right parts, So that upheaval, that turmoil, that little bit of chaotic energy, even though internally and in the energetic realm, it feels so quiet and so open and vast. And maybe that's because I took the time to really sit and merge with my dragon. Thought, I'm not going on right now. It's not the right space. And this is what I try to really be in every time I come and connect to you guys, is to be in that connected space where I'm in my heart flow, because that's what I'm trying to guide you guys forwards to yes, be working with the dragons, and yes, calling them in and knowing who's there, but also to be recognizing where you're not in alignment with your own heart flow, and how do you listen to that? How do you start getting towards that? I'm super excited to dive in with another group, incredible group that has formed. Biggest yet. The dragons told me it would be the biggest yet, and the players are all just about in. I have a final call tomorrow that is sort of a formality, but feeling like it's complete, feels amazing, and that's the work where I get to dive in and really take people forward. I'm super excited about the Quantum Flight program that kicks off next month. We are just about a month away. It's September 26th that we are, let's see, the 24th here. We are, right about a month away, 4.5 weeks. And when I sat about an hour ago and I was getting everything ready, I thought, I'm just not in the space. I want to go walk the dogs. And so I took the dogs to the park, and I sat down and I looked up, and there was definitely a dragon in the sky, and was feeling my own dragon, just inviting that energy in, and then feeling how everything that is this 3D sort of distraction, chaos, things pulling me here, pulling me there, they were still in a very, very much a flow of, I wanted that service, I needed it aligned, it came at the right time. One of them showed up hour and 15 minutes late, had 15 minutes before I had a call, and it was like, yep, and it actually was done in that time frame. So it's this odd balance of this knowing that everything's in flow, and yet there's these other pieces of distraction that, if I let them pull me off center, really pull me off center. And I know that's, you guys go through that too. It's like, how can I find that center again? How can I come back into me? And one of those is really just aligning and pulling my dragon forward, and stopping to breathe and say, okay, what's the true reality? Where am I allowing this that is 3D to really suck me in again and get me into angst, or get me into overwhelm or stress? There's things going on with classes for my kids, and activities with them, other things. And all of it is no different than what you guys go through. There's external stressors and distractions. But when we start living in that heart flow, it's like they're there, but they don't pull us off course. So when we're getting pulled off course, how do I come back to that center point? How do I re-engage myself into the flow, the softness, the grace, the ease, letting it just present itself and be there? And so that's the energy I'm sitting in now. Saw and witnessed myself get a little rattled earlier energetically. I thought, oh, this is stuff I don't want to carry with me. This is stuff I'm going to just go walk it out, let it move, feel my dragons come in, and I did feel that air dragon up in the sky just very much. And I have to look back now. It's like, was it actually an air dragon? Because now that I sit with it, I feel like it was more like a mist or a water dragon. And it was like coming into that heart space. Look up to me and come into that heart space. So really appreciated that reset moment, that cognizing of, oh my gosh, and just allowing myself to be pulled off center and into overwhelmed by all these things, and they're just 3D stuff. Let that drop away. So sharing that, just, I think all of us need that little reminder every now and then of where the reset button is, where the heart button is this really aligned? Because if I had come on an hour ago, it would have been a very different energy, a very different sharing and discussion here. So I feel like it was just a perfect opportunity and moment to be able to share that living of stepping into your heart flow. If it's not aligned, and I'll be honest, it didn't align last week. There's times when I feel like I want to connect with you guys, and my heart desires keep leading me here, here, and here, and it wasn't there last week. And the week actually flew by really quickly. I don't know if you guys are noticing that. I know that in the last few years, time has sped up, but it has become almost exponential, where I'm having a really hard time even keeping track of which day it is. And I know it's all just an age factor, and you can see here I'm just shuffling the deck and letting it merge into its perfection here as I share that. So let's pull a card for today and see which dragon. For those that are watching, I see you on there. Hello. I can see a few faces. I see a number. So hello to you out there, and also on the replay, anybody that catches this. All right. Just calling him in, feeling the dragon that wants to speak. It's right here. It's well past halfway in the deck towards my left side. There we go. I should have guessed. We have the silver dragon, Rihanna. She is about the heart line, and her keywords: softness, embrace, surrender. It's exactly the state I'm in. So I love that, because that is the message we're needing today. There's a lot of craziness going on in the world. It seems to be amping up. Events globally, weather patterns globally, odd things happening globally. I think that's part of what we're feeling, is that uptick in external chaos, and it balances with this uptick in internal centered space, stillness, that place where we really align into the truth and don't get sucked away by that. So I love that the silver dragon, Rihanna, and if you have the book and the CD that comes with it, go listen to the track that was done by Rihanna. Not just the Silver Dragon track, but at the end, the Rihanna Umnae, I think, is a really beautiful set of energy that will pull you into her sphere directly as well today. And that softness, that embrace, that going into stillness, surrender, that's the heart space. She's fifth dimensional of Orion, of the love lineage. That's a call and draw into our heart space, calling us to be centered and focused. What is your heart saying? What is your heart desiring? What's in it right now that it wants to act upon? And am I really willing to follow that? Or am I going to allow the distraction to override me, or the to-do list to override me, or the thing sitting on my desk that's maybe been there for a couple of days or has urgency to it? Am I going to say, oh, I have to? Or am I going to allow my heart to supersede and say, actually, that will come together in perfect flow. What I need right now is, and whatever that is for you. I know several times this week, my reset button and true heart calling was to just go be in my garden and pick. I've got boysenberries, I've got blackberries, the raspberries are just coming on again for their second round. Peaches, nectarines, plums. It's been incredible. We have prolific amounts of fruit this year, and it's been My garden is always a wonderful place to be, but there's been something that I want to go and sit, and it wasn't all in the same day. It was different points on different days of being called to go and harvest that fruit and enjoy that connection with the gifts of the earth. I think that's one of the things I love about gardening, is that reception of the gift coming from the earth, the bounty, the flow, the reminder of how abundant we are. And I will say my boysenberry bushes is a constant reminder of that abundance of flow that is just constantly giving. And when I go and I sit with that bush, like, it is crazy. I picked 5 pints yesterday, 7 like 3 days before that. They are unbelievable, and they're like the size of my thumb. I had a record berry. I'll share this with you guys. A record berry, literally, it took up 3/4 of my thumb. One berry. It was, they're insane. So, smoothies and cereal, I'm in a plethora of fruit, and it's that energy of abundance and the flow that is available, and that applies. Like, that's one example of how earth is always nurturing us, especially when we're in that heart flow. And I feel like a big reason my gardens are prolific is that heart flow of what I give to them. I communicate with the plants. I've got copper in the ground to add that piece. Electroculture, if you haven't looked into it, look up, I believe it's electroculture.com. Really great blog on it. But it's that communication, and they are just abundant. I have a tiny little nectarine tree. It's called a miniature. It's smaller than a dwarf or a semi-dwarf. It will never get taller than 6 feet. I picked 15 pounds of nectarines off it this week. It's amazingly abundant. It is just incredible. And the feedback that you get when you're receiving that and the fruit drops in your hand, it's like, wow, this beautiful gift from nature. And where do we take that in relation to everything else in our life? Are we letting the same kind of abundance fall into our journey as the simple act of picking fruit or vegetables? We had dinner last night, and I had fresh green beans, I had zucchini and yellow squash in a stir fry, all from my garden. We had tomatoes and lemon cucumber. Like, it was just this bounty. But it's easy to see the lesson in a real solid example like that. Where we are challenged sometimes is to mirror that same abundance, that same flow into the rest. All right, if I receive, so let's just look at the example that I shared before of this repair guy that had to come. I had the inlet hose on my refrigerator that feeds the ice and the water thing on the front door burst Monday night. There's no shut-off valve under the sink for that line. Oddly, the shut-off valve is above it. So that needs to be fixed. So a little bit chaotic. Had to have help to call a friend to help me shut off the main water valve. But that needing repair, I put it to the universe. I thought, all right, this needs to happen today because I can't leave the water shut off for too long. We're living just fine overnight. I could have gotten upset, and I think in the past I would have if the guy wasn't there at 11:30 when he said he would be. It was at least 12:45 when he got there, and I had a 1 o'clock call. I could have freaked out, I could have panicked, and that would have actually lent energy into him not having the right parts, or taken 30 minutes and I would have had to push my call back or deal with him somehow else. It would have created a level of stress, and it was like, no, this is perfect. It can be done quickly. I believe it. I see it. I'm not going to let this faze me. And it's the same as the fruit picking. If I let it drop in my hand before picking it too early and then it not being exactly what it needs to be, me stressing out about it, getting upset, Colin, where are you? Where are you? It was perfect flow. He literally finished at 1 o'clock, was leaving the door. So I was able to get on my call by 1:01, 1:02. And it was so easy and seamless. And I can liken it exactly to letting that fruit fall in my hand. Wasn't ripe until 12:45. If I'd tried to pick it early, force him to get there, oh my gosh, it would have been like, no, I'm canceling it. That's what we do, right? We get stressed. Let the fruit fall in your hand. Let your desire be known, and then let it show up. Let it be how it needs to be. So, all of that is happening when we're in our heart. I feel like that's the message today. And I don't know if you can feel it. The space of calm around me, this is the quiet that I was talking about before. When we tune in energetically, I almost feel like the whole planet is quiet on the inside because there's so much chaos going on the outside. And we're like very close to this reset point. I will tell you that the information that's been coming with the new Dragon program, the Quantum Flight group, I've shared, they're the completion team. Everything is about cohesion. Everything is about balance. There's perfect pair lineups all over the globe for what's coming into the sphere as those that are part of that as that's cohesing. We're really at a pivot point. We are just right in that gateway where you can envision it like the Ouroboros, the serpent meeting its tail, that water dragon coming around and completion, coming back to origin point. And what that opens up, that opens the gate. We come full circle, it opens the gate. It doesn't just draw a line, it opens the gate. And it's that gate that is the singularity point. And this is what I feel like we're approaching, because everything around me is so still right now. And that's not just externally. Like, yeah, it's very quiet outside, quiet in the house, and all that. But I'm hoping that you can tune into this through me, of this like pin drop stillness in the universal framework energy. And that I equate to that point that exists between the two opposing forces, between the two pair, each side of a pair. It's that gateway. And you guys can reflect on that in that moment of truth where both sides are true, even though they're seemingly opposed. It's that point where the crystal dragon originally separated into the black and white streams of energy. And we're so close. We're at that moment of coming back into the last point that was that crystalline core, before polarity, before duality, before separation. That's that gateway. That's that point, that singularity point in the middle of what then extends out and becomes the duality that we've lived in thus far, that we've experienced, some of us, for eons. And we're finally back here, that completion point, that full circle coming back to the origin. And it's eminent, you guys. It's eminently close. It's just amazing to feel that. So just sharing that with you guys today. Didn't have a lot on my heart to discuss. I think it's more of an energetic exchange. I do know that my telepathic body has been expanding very clearly, and so there's so much more communication going on in that heart pulse level. So hopefully you guys are receiving that, because I feel like that's where the big messages are actually sending. But knowing, like, just calling you forward into your heart space. What is right for you in this moment? What can you align to and allow in that clarity of what you vision as your desire and hold and know in your body as your desire? Can you let the fruit, the abundance, fall into your hand like a piece of ripe fruit and be in that flow to receive it? Where in your life is there another piece where you can just wait until the fruit falls in your hand and receive it, because you've put all the energy into visioning it, seeing the tree grow, seeing the fruit come forward, and here it is. And where can we stay in our heart and really allow and follow that? If you need to engage in something, is it really what your heart wants right now, or would it be better in 30 minutes after you do what is on your heart? So many barriers to break down with that in how we societally, especially in the business realm, work realm for a lot of people, have been taught to operate. and we're on deadlines, and we're on must-dos, and we're on somebody else's time clock, and we're on this or that. So it's like really about disengaging from all of that expectation, all that set of belief about the world around us. And where can I take those baby steps of extracting myself from those sets of beliefs or those restrictions that I have on myself, on my heart, that say no. When in fact, everything about where we're headed into 5D in the new earth is about the yes of the heart. And knowing it's the yes of the heart, not the mind. Being very clear on that signal. And extracting ourselves gently and gently and gently from that. So that's all I wanted to share today. I think just wanted to see that the energy transfer that to you guys through just sitting in this quiet space with me. And yeah, thank you for being here. I'll see you at some point next week, most likely. I expected that last week and it never came together. But it's okay. We connect when we need to, and we're supposed to, and if it's twice in a week and nothing the next, and that's how it flows. So wishing you a beautiful weekend, or how many moments between now and when we connect again. And I will be in touch again soon. Bye for now.